Who wouldn't want to get up close and personal with their favorite celebrity? Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 celebrities who dated their fans.
We're having a blast and everyone seems happy, and I'm like, how could this is good. Life is good.
For this list, we're focusing on celebs that truly appreciate their fans, or at least are willing to dip into the general population when picking their potential mates. Breathe, Mojoholics, breathe.
And long after their first meeting, they started to get serious. They married in June of 2006.
Number 10, Kelsey Grammer.
I am the luckiest person on earth.
The second luckiest. Not here, Diane.
This star of Cheers and Frasier has had a rocky road when it comes to relationships.
Oh, for crying out loud!
After one failed marriage to a dance instructor and another to an exotic dancer, Grammer met and married Playboy model Camille Donatacci.
I thought that we had a really solid relationship, so I really didn't see it coming.
Of course, the inevitable irreconcilable differences reared their ugly head, and Donatacci filed for divorce in 2010. But don't worry, good old Kels didn't spend much time alone. 2 weeks after the very public divorce was finalized, he married fan and flight attendant Kate Walsh, a woman 25 years his junior who'd caught his eye while she worked a flight to England.
You know, I fell in love with the guy and I felt guilty for falling in love with him.
Grammer fessed up to his infidelity, and since then he's been keen on discussing the first so-called magical night he spent with Kate.
It's been the most difficult.
It's people judging you and not knowing anything about the truth.
Number 9, Joe Jonas.
Goddamn, see you licking frosting from your own hands. Want another taste? I'm begging, yes, man.
Today, Joe focuses primarily on his work with DNCE. However, back in 2010, he was the middle member of one of the world's most famous boy bands, the Jonas Brothers.
I'm hot, you're cold, you go around like you know.
While that band was still going strong in the good old days of 2008, Joe became song fodder for the one and only Taylor Swift.
There are a couple people that they're about, actually.
Like maybe somebody like, you know, that guy?
Fortunately for them both, Joey had explored his dating options a couple of years before. He's spoken out in countless interviews about dating fans, and even told Vulture that he asked a fan out to a movie and just made out with her the whole time.
I would like to fly you out, escort you to my concert of the opening tour. What do you think? I know, it's gonna be great. I want you front row.
The guy is not shy about it, which naturally leads every adoring fan to work heavily on their creative obsession wall. Hey, you just never know.
Joe, I was just wondering if you would ever consider dating a fan.
I think absolutely. I mean, you want the person you're hopefully in love with to be totally into your music.
Number 8, Steve Harvey.
Yeah, I want some hot chocolate, but it ain't in the cup, though. Yeah, I want some hot chocolate, but it ain't in that cup, though. You know what I'm saying?
In the early 90s, Steve Harvey wasn't the entertaining TV host we know today. He was just another stand-up comic looking for his break.
What I'm trying to say to you basically is, you got one very confused black man you done brought up here to Montreal. Because I'm telling you, man, I'm having a tough time adjusting.
That break came with Showtime at the Apollo, where he developed all the stage presence and bravado he's famous for.
So, what do you do for a living?
I work.
Okay.
It was perhaps that same bravado that prompted Harvey to tell a fan in the audience at one of his shows in 1990 that he would someday marry her. And he did, after 2 divorces and 4 kids, that is.
You ignored the red flags, and you married him anyway.
Yeah.
But you can't hurry love. And when Steve Harvey reconnected with Marjorie Bridges on one serendipitous day in 2005, they knew it was time to forget about those family feuds and get in the mood for love.
You're always in the mood.
Hell yeah.
Number 7, Rivers Cuomo. Back in the late 90s, college student Kyoko Ito was in search of some good old Weezer. And fortunately for both Rivers Cuomo and his lucky concert goer, his solo show at the Middle East Club in Massachusetts brought them together.
Singing.
But there's a twist, as the future Kyoko Cuomo lived in Japan before moving permanently to the United States. Talk about legit long-distance relationship cred.
And on the drums, early years mom, Kyoko Cuomo.
Almost 10 years after first meeting, the two were together and made it official by tying the knot, knowing that everything would be all right in the end, and making their own kind of music. Number 6, Adam Sandler.
You know she's not normal. She's not like other girls.
You know what her problem is? Friends like you.
If you've seen the Rob Schneider film Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo, you may recall a character named Sally. Sally was played by an actress named Jacqueline Titone. Through her connection with Schneider, and his connection with a certain other Saturday Night Live alum, Jackie also appeared in the movie Big Daddy.
Who do you want to win?
The goddamn Jets.
Have fun.
Hey, too bad you don't like girls. I think you could have had her.
The actress eventually cultivated a relationship with its star, Adam Sandler, converted to Judaism, and sealed the deal with her new leading man, marrying him in 2003.
Now, everybody turn, face the back of the room, bend over, and reach for your toes.
Why do we have to turn around?
If you please.
And so today, Jackie Sandler is no longer just that girl from all those movies. She's the wife of Adam Sandler, who plays a character named Never Wears Bra in The Ridiculous Six.
Good morning, boys.
Morning, Never Wears Bra.
I had a dream about you last night, White Knight.
Oh, that's nice.
Not nice dream. In dream, you naughty.
Number 5, Elvis Presley.
Should've heard the knocked out jailbird sing that rock.
Back in the 50s, the king of rock and roll began tormenting parents with his offensive hip-shaking and scandalous lip-curling. Around the same time, in 1956, a young girl moved with her family from Texas to Germany.
He's a lonely baby, he's a lonely,
These seemingly unconnected events came together 3 years later, when 14-year-old Priscilla Wagner met a charming 24-year-old soldier at a party in her new country. Today, it might not quite work for an American pop star to publicly seduce a teen, but this romance was no brief fling way back when, and certainly neither could fathom the future before them.
Just what was it like to live with Elvis Presley?
Not like anything I could have ever imagined. I mean, I was a kid, you know, thrown into rock and roll at a very young age.
Number 4, Billie Joe Armstrong.
Do you have the time to listen to me whine?
In 1990, Green Day had yet to become the iconic punk rockers they are now. It was during their first tour, at one of their shows in Minneapolis, that lead singer Billie Joe Armstrong crossed paths with Adrian Nasser. Little did either of them know when she asked for a copy of his album what was to transpire, as the pair ended up getting married in 1994 and shortly thereafter started a family together. Some rock stars thrive on media attention and media coverage of their personal lives, yet Billie Joe and Adrian seem perfectly happy quietly walking to the beat of their own drum. In other words, these two are no Sid and Nancy.
This is the dawning of the rest of our lives.
Number 3, Conan OBrien.
It's plausible that Conan is in his early 30s.
Not only was it love at first sight for Conan and his future wife, but the whole thing was caught on tape as well. The red-headed late-night host met Liza Powell while taping a skit in 2000 for a show at the time, Late Night with Conan OBrien, which was being filmed at the offices of advertising agency Foot, Cone & Belding, where Liza happened to work as a senior copywriter. After getting along during the skit, and falling for her instantly as he claims, he managed to score some digits. The couple ended up dating for a year and a half before getting married in 2002.
Such an amazing man. He's a god. All women think so.
Number 2, Patrick Dempsey.
Okay, I was the one who was drunk, and you are not that good looking.
Maybe not today. Last night I was very good looking. Had my red shirt on, my good looking shirt, and you took advantage.
Just one glance at the hair of this Grey's Anatomy star reveals a simple truth. It's absolutely perfect. All gelled up and curled like he's got a full-time hairdresser tending to him at all times.
Is it moving? Is that beautiful? Wow. That's the hair.
And, well, that's because for a long time he did. Okay, maybe Patrick Dempsey was already well known for a strong grooming game when he set up an appointment with hairstylist Gillian Fink. But the admiring fan was not only married to her client from 1999 until she filed for divorce in 2015, she also helped transform him into the modern McDreamy of ABC's beloved medical drama. Talk about a good tip.
I'll see you around.
See you around.
Before we unveil our number one pick, here are some honorable mentions. Number 1, Hanson.
So you were a fan?
Definitely.
In the history of pop music, boy bands have been known to attract some obsessive fans, but that's not to say that a mutual, genuine love couldn't develop between the stars and their followers. For example, take the three brothers of Hanson and the collective mbop they performed by each marrying a devoted fan that they met at one of their concerts.
And she wasn't, there to go backstage and be a groupie and all that kind of stuff that people expect. And that was immediately appealing to me.
Sure, maybe we don't hear a whole lot of mainstream music from the crew these days, but when you record one of the catchiest songs of all time, you can afford to take a few risks and spend quality time with those who buy into the product.
It was kind of like, oh, this is what happens in movies.
In this case, you gotta give Hanson a slow clap for the ultimate tribute to their fans. Well, at least to 3 of them. Do you agree with our list? What's your favorite celebrity fan hookup? For more romantic top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Wait a minute, man. Wait a minute. I forgot the lyrics.